We found a famous banana upside down cake recipe on YouTube that looked good. But after testing it, we realized it needed a few tweaks to be great. That's how we ended up with 3 tests. This is test number 1 using the original recipe 1 egg and 2 bananas. We separated the ingredients into 3 categories. First, we prepared the topping that goes on the pan. We peeled and sliced the ripe banana lengthwise. It was so ripe that it almost fell apart in our hands. We hoped that was a good sign. We spread the butter and sprinkled sugar on a non-stick frying pan. We used a 28cm pan. Then we placed the banana slices on the sugar and set it aside. They look like little yellow boats floating on a sea of sweetness. Next is the second category, dry ingredients. The original recipe of the famous cake called for 3 tablespoons of baking powder. We thought that was crazy. It must have been a typo. But as seasoned bakers, we knew better. We used 1.5 teaspoons instead. We didn't want our pan covered to blow off the pan. Let's prepare the third category, wet ingredients. We used a blender instead of a mixer to combine all the wet ingredients. It was quicker and easier, and that's how we like it. We also like the sound of the blender. It makes us feel like we were making a smoothie. We pour the wet mixture into the dry ingredients. Using a whisk, we mixed gently until there were no more flour visible. We did not overmix or else we would end up with a chewy cake. We wanted a soft and fluffy cake, not a rubbery one. We poured the batter on top of the prepared banana. We smoothed the batter until it covered all the bananas. We covered the pan and put it to bake on the gas stove at a very low flame. As low as we could go. We let it cook for 20 to 30 minutes. We check on it every 5 minutes just to be sure. Just before we switch off the flame, we set it to high and keep moving the pan in a circular motion for 1 minute to give the bottom a nice golden brown. This felt odd but was fun. We let it cool down, then flip the cake onto a plate. We held our breath as we did this. Look at that! We cut and enjoyed the cake. It was delicious. It was moist and full of banana flavor. The caramelized sugar and butter added richness. We were proud of ourselves. We had made a banana upside down cake from scratch on a frying pan for the first time. It was a decent cake that inspired us to make a vegan version of it. We wanted to be kind to the animals and the environment, and also to reduce our high cholesterol. Our second test was eggless and dairy-free. For the topping, instead of butter, we used olive oil margarine. We hope it would taste as good as butter, or at least not like olives. We used the exact recipe for the dry ingredients. No changes there.
Banana replace egg.
As for the wet ingredients, there were 2 changes. We replaced the egg with 1 ripe banana. We hoped it would not make the cake too banana-y. We replaced the milk with coconut milk. We hope it would not make the cake too coconutty.
Vegetable oil.
As we were whisking in the wet ingredients, we realized the batter was too thick, so we added 30ml more coconut milk. It was a telltale sign that maybe not a very good cake would come out of this. We crossed our fingers and prayed to the cake gods. We put the pan on the stove and baked it as before. We flipped the cake onto the plate and took a bite. The batter was definitely too thick. It gave the cake a dense texture that left a sticky bite in our mouth. It was not better than the first test. It was worse. It was like eating a cake with a spoonful of flour.
It's so thick, it just fill up your mouth.
We spat out the cake and threw it in the trash. It was a disaster. We decided to give up on the vegan version and try something else instead. We had a third inspiration to try our third test. We hope it would be the charm. Test number 3, less flour. All the toppings are the same except we added a sprinkle of cinnamon powder for that extra zing. The problem was ripe bananas. We ran out of it. Luckily, Francis always keeps spare frozen ripe bananas in the freezer. They really come in handy in this situation. However, only use fresh bananas if you can. When you see the end result, you will understand why we advise against frozen bananas. As for the dry ingredients, less flour of course, and we added baking soda. In the wet ingredients, we tweaked the flavoring too. It was really unintentional. After so many tests, I suppose the vanilla essence decided to run out on us. Too lazy to go out to the store to buy more, we opt to try lemon flavor instead. Think about it, lemon will go well with banana. It is a good sign to see that this batter is more watery than the previous test. We put it to bake on the gas stove and waited. As we removed the pan cover, we noticed a lot of steam evaporating, which shows the cake is super moist. We did the pan flip after it cooled down, and there you have it. The frozen bananas do not make this cake appealing at all. It looked like a pile of mud. However, do not judge a book by its cover. It tastes marvelous. The cake was light and moist. This is definitely the perfect cake recipe. This time we have a winner! Or maybe not. We think the cake is too thin, possibly not enough batter. Well, there goes our dream of becoming master bakers. If you enjoy bananas, watch our banana recipes for more inspiration.
Subscribe, share and comment. Thanks for watching.
Now more of spongy